Hey guys, my name is Seniac and welcome back to another episode of OilTown here in City Skylines 2, where we're now flying over a very peaceful oil industry. There was no stress, no drama building this in the last episode. Yeah, right, Seniac. I've never been so stressed in my life building an absolute grid. We are back, boys, and last episode we built, in reality, yes, I did build a brand new oil area because I deleted the old one. And we got this better grid format set up right now, which has got so many oil fields now placed in, and we can then kind of come off it in the many different directions when we need to expand. Now, we got it to the point where it now does produce so much more oil than previously before, which means our exports are now even higher, which means our money is even higher. And I've never made so much cash like I am doing right now. Now, since we started to make a lot of cash recently, we did do some improvements to the island. We increased the education levels, which if I click on them right now, they are getting better and better and better. If I base it over 6 months, you can see when all that work started and how the upward trends are going on. Look at that beautiful well-educated line just increasing dramatically and the uneducated coming down. That is exactly what I like to see. Now, we've also increased the healthcare on the island. We've added in a big brand new hospital, and I think we made the little clinic over there a little bit bigger as well. But we need to keep investing. Now, last episode, we had a lot of issues with power, and I think it's finally time I tackle the power issue on the island. Lately, we've only used wind turbines to produce power right now, and yeah, I can select them and I can upgrade them, and it's all good and sweet, you know, la-di-da. But I think it's time we invest into the future. Now, this is going to be very expensive. There's two things I want to do this episode. I want to build a brand new power plant. And I also want to build a new way in which we process garbage. Now, both of these ways are going to be so expensive, but it's going to future-proof us. It's going to produce lots of power. It's going to solve all of our garbage issue and needs. That way, OilTown is protected for the future. Guys, if you are enjoying the series so far, please make sure you smash that like button down below. Subscribe if you are new in here so you get notified when more episodes do come out. Appreciate it, guys. Appreciate it. So I do have big plans. I want to build this peninsula down here up into a bigger area where all the residents are going to be living. Today I want to buy some new tiles which will allow me to kind of expand down this way. Now, I've got an idea, okay? And hear me out right now. I'm going to buy these 4 tiles here, purchase them. They just cost me an arm and a leg. It is what it is. We're going to get, and we've got this at the moment, this big 4-lane road coming down and then bending into the industry area down here, as you can now see. I want this to come up to a junction where it also turns to go down this way and eventually leads all the way down to there. So obviously, that's the road to access it as well. And eventually, we'll build another small little town community area over there. So we can have them dotted around the island, but it all depends on where the air pollution is going to be blowing. Which means, eventually, boys, well, this has got to be moved. I've still got the big wide gap coming down if we eventually go down the route of building some form of a highway, which would be quite exciting. So I need to slowly transition it down this way, which we'll kind of do this episode as well. And then up on the hill, on this hill section here, I feel like it might be a good idea. We've got the water nearby where we can build a water treatment plant in the future. So kind of make this our utility zone. It's a shame that I'm going to ruin the natural, wonders and effects and beauty of this area. But this will be a really good utility area that I can utilize. It's on top of the hill. The wind will blow straight out into the ocean. It seems pretty good, right? Well, it seems a little bit too good to be true. So, question is then, how much money are we going to need? Now, there's 2 ways in which we can look at it. I can either build the power plant first, which the power plant in question is going to be the gas power plant. That's the way I can use the oil that we are now producing into gas and then use it, burn it, make that power. It will produce 250 megawatts, which I currently need I need 80 megawatts at the moment. So that will future-proof us for quite some time before we have to upgrade it and all that kind of jazz. Now that's going to cost us 650,000. The other thing I want to do is the garbage. Now I want to get rid of the landfill site. I don't know if it would be kind of a good idea to keep it, but the other options are recycling, That way I can kind of process. The processing capabilities are literally 15 times more than the landfill. Or I get the incineration plants. Now, with the incineration plant, it will also produce power as well. So an incineration plant and a gas plant together? That's 1.6 million I'm going to need. But what that could do for the island is dramatically transform it. Because we do have some garbage issues right now because the landfill site is currently filled to the brim. Damn it. Right, anyway, we'll wait for our money to build up a little bit because I want to start by building the road leading down. Now, before I go anywhere with this, I also want to make sure that we are running somewhat parallel. Because this is going to be quite important. If I build that there, and if I just bring this out to there, yeah, okay, it's all perfectly parallel. I'm using that road there as the parallel marker for all this grid. I know, I keep mentioning grids. It's not good, is it? It's really not good. But it's how we got to transition. Now, we also need to figure out where the marker point is for the expansion coming over, which looks to be about there, if I'm not mistaken. So this is all really important, boys. Yep, that's about it. It's all really important. So if I go to then here, delete you. I know this line means that we got the equal distance coming through. So I'm actually right now going to pause and I'm going to get rid of the landfill site. Hasta la vista, baby. It's now gone. We'll have to keep the crematorium just there for just a moment. But I'm deleting you just back to there. I'll have to move it in just a moment. But I want to figure out where we're going to run the connection leading down. Now, when it comes to terraining, we need to view the terraining options. Where's my terrain button? Am I blind? This is all pollution. Where's terraining options? Leisure. Land value. Am I just being stupid here? Can I not see ground pollution? No. I feel like I'm being stupid. Where's the topography is what I'm looking for. Do I need to go into this? Ah, okay, there's better. So, as you can see, it becomes a lot flatter over here, and within this area, it becomes like a little bit of a bowl. That's where I want the road to eventually run, but it all depends on where we run here. So if it comes down, that's where we could make it go straight down there, and then make it head up onto this plateau. Right, just kind of figure it out in my head, because this is going to be important for the future. So if I go there and then ran this ultimately down to about, do you know what, let's go to about there, which is fine. So running that road, which is absolutely glorious, because the whole transition of this area is going to pretty much change. Actually, I don't know whether to actually move it a little bit more forward, because what I could also do is upgrade this road to being our 4-lane road, which will actually bring it on the inside here. So we know that ends there, which is all good. Delete you back, and then move this down and then bend it in, if that makes sense. We'll see. This is all leading to something, guys. Don't worry. This is all leading to something. So bring that about there, and then we choose to bend this down. And then I reckon we should then get it to pick a point here. So this is all like freehanding it, if that's the best way to put it. So we've now just got to try and complete. I could also do like a complex curve where I could decide to go down here to down there to in, but that becomes way too bendy and I don't really want it like that. Not at all. So the other idea would be if I then come off to about there, and then it would snap about here. Oh no, I've still got the complex curve on. Right, there to here. Right, this will make sense, boys. Just give me a second. It will make sense. Delete one back, and then we begin our bend into this. So keep it a simple bend. So that is a 72 by 72. And that then should go straight in. And then bring it back from this way. A 64 by a... Are you going to snap? Alright, let's do it from here. Is that still... Okay, it's a 51. 56. I'm not going to argue too much. I'm not going to argue. But that's where that road is then going to run. Now, if I was to implement the highway system within it, the highway system would come down here and then it will kind of turn this way and it will be on the left-hand side of the 4-lane road, which means I got all this space here to kind of work with and zone with, which is going to lead us all up and out. So I've just got to figure out then what the distance is between the 4-lane road here to where we can then have another road. Because this space, I say maybe in the future we might have a highway system. Let's be honest, the way that your boy builds in this game, we most likely are going to have a highway system. So it's a 224 is what we're looking at right now. So a 224, let me get it up to a 224. I just want to get the little marker just right for it. So we're going to about there. So delete all of this. So that's the space there I get to work with. So I know what space I've got after that road to kind of then continue. So I'm just going to also do it here as well. 224. It's all important, guys, because this is how we situate the whole area. Right. Bam, straight in. There we go. Just delete you. And then let me just get it to where the road ultimately stops bending, which is there. Straight across. And in reality, I should be able to bend that all the way around. And that almost mimics that bend there in a larger bend. That's all I care about right now. That's all I care about right now. It can pretty much be just left like that. And I've got all this space to work with when it comes to building some form of a highway. Let me delete back there, because you'll need a bend going right round. Right, very good, very good, very good. Let's start the jibber-jabber right now and the yapping. And let's now implement the stuff I am required to get in. Now, obviously, the garbage, the incineration plant is 1 million. Now, obviously, this probably is a better idea to get in first because, let's be honest with you guys, it will solve the garbage problems and it will also produce a little bit of power before I do delete the wind turbines. Now, it is a fairly big building, but how big is it compared to our gas power plant? Oh, wow. Okay, our gas power plant is even bigger. Now, ideally, it would be kind of cool to get the gas power plant close to the water. Not too close, but close to the water like that. And we could have... It does have a kind of section as well that kind of sticks out where you can connect to the outside of the region, but that means nothing to us unless I put it this way round. So we need to kind of build. Do I come off this? No, I'm gonna freehand all of this as well. So if I come off there, let's say like this, and then just come down so I can create my little angle there, and that's roughly where I'm going to place in the gas power plant. Now, if I can try and build this, so if I went to there, without having to build or place the actual building down, oh, that's perfect, okay. So I've now got the alignment of the road going around where I can put the building. Well, that's quite exciting already. So I'm not sure as well how long I need to go, but it doesn't matter because the incineration plant is a lot smaller. And by a lot smaller, I mean, there you go. And this also has a connection where we're going to have to implement... what are they called right now? They're called transformers, right? A transformer station. So the power can be produced from these and then put into the ground, if that makes sense. So that's going to be very interesting. Now, I need 1 million. I need 1 million big ones right now to do the incineration plant. So while we quickly wait for that money to increase, we're going to move the crematorium real quick, which I'm just going to put over here for now, just so it's kind of slightly out of the way. You know, it is what it is with that one. It is what it is. Now, could this road that connects to there, leading all the way up, be something? I'm not too sure yet. And I don't know whether I'm going to kind of bring it off the road down here. We shall see. Now, obviously, that's cost me money to move the crematorium, which is kind of annoying. We really do need garbage right now because I've just got rid of my only garbage needs that I've got right now. Or I could put the power plant in and then save up for the garbage. But then again, I still need garbage. There's no way about it. There is literally no way about this right now. So we'll wait till we got the million, and then we'll figure it out. In the meantime, they're going to have to suck it up. I kind of want it to be next to it. Right. But I also want the transformers to go in a certain direction. So I might bring this out a bit more here. Place you in just there, so the transformers also face that way. See, that could be interesting, couldn't it? That could be really interesting. So if I stick out by one more, I think it is. I think it's about there. I've got to go for the actual full building to be placed in. Almost. Right, delete you, delete... Oh, damn it. Why did I delete all that road? Right, let me build that to... Let me just build it all the way down, and then we'll just cut the road in where I need it to be. Right, we've got the million. I'm placing it now in. Bam. That was expensive. That was super expensive. So that gives me the space on the opposite side over here right now for the transformer. Which, obviously, when it burns all the garbage, it will... Okay, I have to make that go through. It will produce power in return, which I can then pump out back into the grid. Now, I might use this road here as the connection going down and as a connection then going into here. But obviously, I've got to make it a little bit longer than what the gas power plant is going to be, which that is super long. So bring that a bit further down, maybe about there, which should be pretty good. And if I pick here as a connection and then smack bang in, where that ends, the gas power plant, whichever road it cuts across, but I need a bit of space for the transformer station coming out. So if that comes all the way down to there, I'm going to treat that as being the smack bang connection here. All the lines in perfect. And if I got this to connect to there, we might even need to throw down like a roundabout or something. We then have, without any additional connections, road access. So where would this look and where would this go? Now, obviously, this is a to-be designed kind of area. If I just went through it like that, you can't place it... Oh, no, overlapping. Sorry, I'm on the wrong section. No, it is overlapping. You could anarchy it. You honestly could. Let me go all the way back. Just see, does that change anything? It doesn't change anything at all. No. I can't connect to it, but you could anarchy it through. Delete you. And then that's where we would maybe drop a roundabout down, but I'll save that junction for another day because that would be another headache down the road. Okay? It's probably something that if I do implement a highway system, I could integrate the junction with how the highway passes over on the ground. I don't know how it's going to work. But straight away, that now gives me a lot of capacity for garbage. And now we're pumping out a bunch of trucks. So without the additional upgrades right now, we could actually have 50 vehicles. And it's pumping out 29 already. There's lots of upgrades we could add to it, but these upgrades, that's to do inside of it. That's to do inside of it. That's a separate building, which I could put either here or here after the transformer sticks out. So this won't provide us any power whatsoever just yet until the transformer's connected to the street. So that is what it is. Now that's going to be very, very expensive to run and maintain. That really is, but it should instantly solve all my garbage issues. Are you getting overloaded, this water pumping station? The answer is yes. I could increase my budget on the services for water. So if I increase it by 10%, that will give us a little bit more water needs. But it's a good job I'm leading up to this right now because we could build a water plant around this area. Now, to be honest with you, thinking about it, I don't know why I didn't align it to this grid. Because now it looks slightly wonky. And that's going to really annoy me. That really is going to annoy me. Because I could have an access so they could drive here into there and off they go. That's going to really annoy me. Maybe eventually when we got more money in the bank, I could, you know, slightly readjust all of this. But like I said, it's going to really annoy me. Why didn't I think of that? Why didn't I think about doing the alignment correctly here? Or not. I could keep it like that. It doesn't connect and it's just kind of complete, you know, it's completely separate to the whole area. That could also be a thing as well. So it's not the end of the world. Stop stressing, boy. Stop stressing. So garbage is now coming in and it should start processing. So it could be that it gets a little bit overloaded to begin with because we have an excess of garbage to what we would not normally have. If that makes sense. Because a lot of the buildings here right now do need to be emptied. Right, so let the money kind of creep up slowly. Let the money creep up slowly right now. And let's see if we can kind of then turn this into something. So, or do I wait for the power plant to be built? Now, I need 650 for that, which, to be honest with you, we're not really that too far off it. But if I can figure out where this spacing would go. Right, I think I've just seen the set of trees that I'm working with. This could be completely wrong. Oh, it's the, hold on, it's the wrong road altogether. Right, I think it's these trees here that we're working with. Oh, I keep forgetting that I keep putting myself on the bend. So does this go in? That does go in. Ah, no, it's a little bit further than that. Because what I want to try and do is get the transformers to look like not like that they're connecting to one another, but like they're all part of the same area, if that makes sense. So if that was to go there, the transformer's got to turn and then come down. So a transformer station is 30 grand. We can afford to put one in. I just don't know if that there is too big for this area. And I don't have to keep placing it down and whatnot, but I can see the size of it versus here. Oh, it's one tile not enough, if that makes sense. I need to go down by one more, like this. I'm hoping that's it. I'm hoping that's it. Oh, I've gone by one too many. Right, I didn't need to go that far. Right, delete you and you. Didn't need to go that far. Right, that should be it. If this doesn't work right now, I'm then going to get triggered. But it should work. There we go. That should now work. So, with the transformer station then, we can put one there, and I can also put one here. So, one either side of the road, and then this one runs into there, and then this one runs into here. That makes sense? I'm hoping it makes sense. I'm hoping it does make a little bit of sense right now. Now, this works by these power lines, which it's as simple as that. And just by doing that, this incineration plant can now pump out electricity. I don't think it gives you an area in which you can kind of look at. Oh, no, there you go. Electricity production, 25 megawatts being produced. So I could now start to reduce the amount of wind turbines I've got as well. So we'll see what happens with that. We will see what happens. So I'm not liking the fact that stored garbage is going a bit higher and the processing speed is not... I mean, I could do 300 tons a month, which is, you know... There you go. The actual stored garbage is going down a little bit there. So at least we can kind of process it this time round. So we're now waiting until we got enough cash in the bank to buy the gas plant. So electricity should have a big boost now, shouldn't it? Yes. Which does mean I can then slowly start getting rid of it, but I won't get rid of any of them until I've built the gas power plant. Now, the gas power plant itself, that normally has the big funnel, big wires at the back to kind of be able to enable you to sell or import, but mainly sell to outside of the region. So I don't know what happens if I connect to a transformer. I don't know if the building already puts electricity into the grid from the building, or whether I do need to utilize a transformer. Fairly cost effective, although the running cost depend on the price of fossil fuel, which for us, we're mining it or kind of drilling it ourselves. That's the correct term, isn't it? Can be upgraded with initial turbine, enlarged fuel storage, exhaust filter, and advanced furnace. There's a lot of stuff you can add to this as well to make it a lot better. So it could only get better and better, and also only get more expensive and more expensive. So, with that said, where's my mouse? There we go. I can now we got that kind of connection sorted there. Bring this down. So first snap it out like that. Bring this down to there and then in. And then you've got this big gridded area that is all combined as one thing. And then we can throw some more little bits and bobs and stuff in here. The upgrades to these, like the extension that sticks out, to be honest with you, it can be pretty much placed wherever. But that gives the ability and the room to do stuff with. And we know where our kind of maximum border is as well with this road kind of cooking through. So that's all good then. Nice little area. And then we can build a water treatment plant around it as well at some point in the future, which would look pretty damn good. So yeah, we're just waiting for the cash to come into the bank. So we'll give that some time. While we wait then, is it worth me now thinking about starting to build said grid? Now, we've been doing the old 112 and 224 kind of spacing, and I think there's nothing different here. So a 112... and that's not aligning, is it? Why is that not aligning? Right. I think it's because I've got Anarchy on. Is it because I've got Anarchy on? It might be. Alright, there we go. It's still not perfect though, is it? It's still not perfect, and that will really, really annoy me. So, if I go there and then go 224. This is not going to line right, by the way. I can already feel it. It's just slightly off. Can you see it's staggered? It is just ever so slightly off. And I don't know what it's trying to align to. There's like multiple alignments you can kind of pull it towards there. And how has that gone so crooked? You know what I mean? I never know what to turn on or off here as well. But to be honest with you, when you look at it though, that's slightly staggered as well. So maybe it's a case of I just set it up myself. So a 224, which is going to completely throw us off now. Let me do it on this side instead. If I do it there, I get my better alignment here, don't I? So another... has that done it as well? Wow. It doesn't matter what I do. You know, I'm going to get rid of this for a second. And to there. Just so it doesn't trigger me to snap into it. Now, a 112. And then across by a 224. Which I don't think you're going to get it that well because of the bend taking place here. So it might be a case of where we just have to end that one naturally there. Oh, right, listen. We're not even on a slope right now. We're not even on a slope, and you're going to tell me, boys, you're going to tell me that I can't build in a straight line? Right, delete you. To there. Right, very good. I do need to pause it because the way that road kind of cooks out. Now, if I was to kind of go... that's going to run into these... oh, I see. Oh, I think I know why. Right, delete that altogether. Now I think I know why. So if I run a 224 there, and then bring that in, and then that goes into there. It was over the grid, wasn't it? And then run this up to here. That's all aligned. And then the bend takes place here. But the slope is apparently too steep. That is a really steep slope, isn't it? That is a really steep slope. But nothing a bit of Anarchy can't solve. I mean, it is pretty steep. I am realizing that. But at least we've now sorted out the issue. So a 224 would be here. Which will bridge all this in. And then you'll have your double connection there. To which you could have a connection here. Which we probably will. That gives us our grid just there. Nice. More industry, baby. More industry. But in the meantime, I can now get the gas power plant down, by the way. So gas power plant, where are you? There you are. Put you in. So this is going to get placed just there. Damn, that's a big building, isn't it? That's a real big building. Now, it has slightly eaten in to the terrain, but I think we can maybe solve that. Anyway, it needs sewage and pollution. Sorry, sewage and what now? How much more? Oh, good God. Is it going to be a lot more? It might be a lot more. Now, I don't have the capabilities for that. We are now completely overloaded. We're going to have to pause. We are so overloaded right now, it's going to be unreal. Now, before we do anything, can I actually just delete this road real quick? Bring this road out. Now, I don't want to go down too much. Let me just change how this... Because I want it to actually suck itself to the ground. It's got to be on the ground. So if I build that to there... Because it is going downhill. But I don't want to feel like this area is too much for it. See, that's better. Now it feels all the same, as if it, like the building itself naturally goes up the hill. That's all good. So I won't connect this just yet because we got to solve the sewage issues. Now this is why we need a water treatment plant. This is something that I have officially overlooked, and I should have be paying attention to it. We need a better water pumping station. We have an advanced water pumping station, but that's a headache for another day. Let me just do the sewage outlet first. I might as well utilize the same sewage outlet area that we've currently got on the go. So is that enough for us there? It's not the best, okay? You're just going to have to deal with it until I can kind of create like a water treatment plant. And in terms of water, we are sucking up water from over here. So I could do the same. If I extend the road slightly out, build you down. We're going to anarchy this in. There we go. So that will give us double the capacity of sewage and water, which sorts out this gas plant right now. Very good, very good, very good. Which that can produce, at the moment, 290 megawatts. Now, it produces it. Absolutely unreal. But I don't think we can use it until we connect this up to said transformer. Now, let me just bring this all the way out to there to connect you into here. And then to delete that little bit of extension. So that allows us to use it, right? I think it does. But we can only utilize 80 at a time, because that's all we can punch out from it. Because that's all the transformer station does. So let me now go through and start deleting these. We'll delete a couple. To a point where we're using more power than what the wind turbines could originally produce. I've got to delete all the... actually, you know what? We can delete all of them. They can all now go. So long... Solar energy. Wind energy. Green energy. I don't know what I'm talking about, do I? I don't know what I'm talking about. Right, these are now all gone. I've got a vast, extensive network of wires I've now got to delete. Sounds terrible. But we can't just click and drag. So far, anyway. Which just make life a little bit easier. Let's just get rid of all of these, then we're all done. We haven't got to do nothing at that point. Oh, there's an above ground one now. Where does that run to? To there? There, and there? That is all the power, but it completely overloads the road network as well. But anyway, let me see. So, it looks like it does pump out electricity from the main building. Now, let me just quickly delete this and this. Okay. Now, I think the pair of them pump out electricity. So, is there any need for the transformer station? Now, obviously, the transformer station transformed high voltage currents coming from power plant to low voltage to be usable by buildings. Connect transformer station to a power line from the outside connection import. Yeah, okay. So, it works both ways. So, I think it's fine. But is it worth it is the question. I don't know. Am I doing this right, guys? Just let me know in the comment section down below if you feel like I'm doing this right or wrong. We've got to sort out it all anyway. But power's coming out of the buildings via the road connection. Is that correct? We don't have any of them coming out by the transformers, but I'm going to assume that's because we don't need that power yet. You know what I mean? We don't need it just yet. Now, obviously, we are completely overloading the road network here, so we are going to have to look towards kind of bringing this road network a little bit closer in somewhere for us to connect. I'm really annoyed that this is not aligned to there. I can't explain how much that has annoyed me, but it's okay. What we can do, and this is why this kind of stuff is interesting, is we can put down more transformer stations here, there, and everywhere to kind of alleviate the power issues. Because obviously it's only one road. Idea would be, well, build more roads. Yes. But because the power line situation we've now got, we can run power lines to areas. So, for example, if I put a transformer station there, and let's do it where these two power lines are now combined. We'll get rid of the anarchy. So if I do it where these power lines are combined, like that, I know this is not the best way to do it, but just bear with me for this. That should mean I'm now able to pump out an extra 80 megawatts here. There we go. So, am I right in saying that both these buildings do also pump out electricity on the streets? You know what I'm saying? But now I have this ability to fast transport higher voltage and have these little pockets that pump out 80 megawatts in their areas. Yes. Now, obviously, there's a lot of work still yet to get done with all of this, but it's a great start. I think once we've got a bit more money, I might position this to the grid. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section down below. I don't know yet. Okay? I'm not 100% sold on it just yet, the idea of it. But we've got gas power plant. We've got the incineration power plant, which is producing... It is processing enough to reduce the stored garbage, which is perfect. This has upgrades we can also add onto it as well, which is storage extension, so we can store more petrochemicals in there. We have the ability to add an advanced furnace, which reduces the resource consumption, so that's perfect. That means we use less. We have the ability to have an exhaust on it, so it reduces the air pollution if it does get a little bit too crazy. And we also can add an additional turbine. Increases the power output, but also decreases the increases the fuel consumption. Adds another power line connection. Right, I get you. Yeah, adds another one just there. Now, obviously, this pylon power line chaos is a bit all over the place. We will adjust this in the future, and we will slightly change it. Maybe it would have been better to have these facing on the outward over here. Who knows? It's something that we can kind of play around with in the future no matter what anyway. So it hasn't hindered how much money we're now making. Actually, we're doing pretty good. The power, we can add more to it and take it away. So we've got plenty of power availability right now, which is amazing. My garbage issues, we've got all the process. We've got three times the processing as the garbage we are collecting a month. So that's completely future-proofed ourselves as well. Obviously, we'll probably be losing money on electricity right now because obviously the fees versus... Actually, we can bring this budget right now back down to... I mean, I could reduce the budgets as well. That's the other side of it. We don't need to have a budget that high. But again, if I can afford it, we might as well pay for it. We have increased the sewage and the water, but at the cost of we're now dumping more sewage into the ocean. But it is what it is. Now, one thing I didn't show you guys is the air pollution, but at the same time, I kind of checked it beforehand, and you can see right now it's all going to be produced around here, and it blows down here, and then over the island and out to sea. So that's what it should do. It shouldn't reach... I say it shouldn't reach the city. This shouldn't be reaching the city, but it is. Maybe we need to build something that will block it. This is coming down a lot further than I expected. But is that from this? Is the question. Because we never had this big issue here before. That's got to be from that factory area, right? Has to be. I don't know. But if it is becoming a big issue, maybe you have to build like a big dirt mound, or the highway could be the barrier between the areas. There is ways in which you can change the wind direction. But we'll have to see. So before we end it then, boys, unemployment, how bad is it? It's at 32.4%. We do have a little bit of office demand, which I'm going to quickly squeeze in just here right now and let them build up those offices. More places to work and more places that will have to get public transport to reach. Bam. Small updates, small little improvements, but they'll have a massive effect on how we pretty much run and maintain the island. A new garbage facility, and the world's most expensive gas plant. But at least, boys, at least, we're fueling it with stuff that we produce ourselves. So could we see petrochemicals going through the roof? Well, not really, no, because at the end of the day, I'm using it rather than selling it. So you could argue the petrochemicals profit is now decreased as we're using it in our gas plants. Same with crude oil, because it all starts at crude oil. It goes through the factories, and it's stuff that we'll not sell. It's stuff that we're using ourselves. But it's pretty good. It's pretty good, boys. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. But until next time, I'll see you all soon. So goodbye.